Life is unpredictable. Life often puts us in difficult situations. Whether you've lost a loved one like me, or you've had some other difficult situation, going through big changes is always challenging. I am going through the loss of loved one again, and I see it in a mirror. Pain leaves its marks on us. My eyes are blurry. There are marks on my face that I no longer recognize. I don't want my children to see me like this. I have to try to restore the shine to my face and eyes again. When we struggle with negative emotions, we forget about our well-being. And in difficult moments, self-care is very important. In those moments, our mind and body need the greatest support in order to withstand everything and continue to function. So this is my first step toward healing and recovery from the loss of my grandma. This is the third time I've lost someone I love. My father first, then grandfather, and now grandma. This time my health suffered when I had a stress-induced collapse in the cemetery, and the ambulance came for me and they took me to the hospital. And that was the warning sign for me. The warning sign that I have to collect myself and go through this, standing on my feet. The most challenging thing after a big life change is to function like before again, even though nothing is the same anymore. We feel self-care is selfish then, and we feel guilty if we try anything to make us feel better, because we don't want to be better. It seems sadness is the last connection point to the person we lost, so we want to keep the sadness. But we must heal and be better because of all the people we love and we still have in our lives. So I learned how to heal from grief. I experienced grief 3 times and I learned how to heal from it. I ask myself how the person I've lost would love to see me now. I know people I've lost would love to see me being better and would do anything for me to be better. And I feel it's my obligation to do that. After many days of crying and despair, I got up and started to clear my mind by cleaning the house, ironing, reading, working. Reluctantly, but that act of behaving as before the loss tells my mind that I am recovering, that I need to support my body with nurturing food. While we are grieving, we are not interested in it, but it is very important to take care of our health while going through difficult periods. My grandma made me promise to take care of myself. So here I am, trying to keep my promise. I have to be better for my children. This is Ben 10 watch that my son wears and transforms into various heroes. He told me to try it. Here, I will become this hero with strong arms that can handle everything. But I will use this watch. It's time for me to use it finally and start building my physical strength, because that way I will also improve my mental strength. My body was shaking and I collapsed on the cemetery because I didn't have the courage to express what I feel, to face with it. And almost every emotion needs physical expression, so exercising is a way to let emotions out. This way I let go of my anger, disappointment, and despair. When we lose someone we love, we are angry, not only on destiny. I was angry myself because I didn't do more for her, although I know I did everything to save her. I'm also angry because of some things that I sometimes said and things I didn't say to her. I'm angry because I didn't recognize she would pass away so soon and I didn't spend more time with her, to ask her all about her life, to tell her everything I feel for her. I know she knew, but to tell her and to let her talk, to listen. Regrets makes us angry. We always feel we could do more, but we can't predict the future. So please don't let guilt makes you feel desperate. I know, the fact that an important person no longer exists makes us weak and disappointed. We realize we no longer have a chance to change anything, and that the only thing left for us is to come to terms with it. I'm still not ready to come to terms with it, so I allow myself to use distraction. I'm reading. I get lost in the fictional lives of the book characters, at least for a while. Reading about similar situations we experienced is very helpful. It helps us to live an experience through someone else's perspective and to feel support. Also, finding support in people around us is very important. Please find support and talk with people around you. I do all that. Then I quit distraction and surrender to my feelings and facing my loss. The process of coming to terms with the loss is a long one, and I'm going through it slowly. When I feel that emotions are too strong and dark, I let the light reach me. I mentioned that every emotion needs an expression, and one of the greatest ways to express is to write about your feelings. Sometimes we cannot talk. We cannot share with other people what we feel. But we can write. It's a conversation that you have with yourself, and in this case, with the person you lost. I wrote a book after losing my father, and I write a lot. But this is one blank paper. The purpose is just to let all the thoughts and feelings out and to say what you didn't have a chance to say. Just write everything that is on your mind and your heart, and then you can do anything with this paper. You can save it, or you can just fold it and throw it away. The point is to let everything out. Then I return to the distractions. I'm organizing my home in hope that will organize my thoughts. I iron the children's clothes. The bright and cheerful colors on their wardrobe bring me thoughts of all the wonderful things we will experience. So I have to recover and be a strong mom for all the future adventures of my boys that I want to experience with them. I can't do that with my eyes clouded by grieving for my father, grandfather, and grandmother. What hurts me the most is that my father died before I became a mother and he didn't get to meet his grandchildren. But through the years I learned to live with it. As a psychologist, I learned to reframe my thoughts. I take a position from which I think about it in a way that brings me acceptance and peace. I know my father, grandfather, and grandmother would like to see how I live the most beautiful moments with my family and grab all the best from life. Because there was enough sadness. My body is tired from grieving, and my children do not need a tired mom. I realized it's time for me to move on. I will always carry the ones I love and lost with me. But I know I have to take my boys and my husband by the hand and dedicate myself to my future and all the beautiful things that life will bring. And for the end, I would like to tell you that when we lost someone, I feel there is always one mark and one empty spot in our hearts. And through time, we learn to be better and we learn to function again. But it doesn't mean we forgot those people we lost. We just learn how to carry them in our hearts, to go through life, through our future with a brighter eyes and make them proud. Life is complicated. It's a mess of hard and beautiful moments, and I want you to never forget that when you are in a hard times, when everything is dark, you have to remind yourself that it's a moment, maybe one long moment that can last for months, but there will be the moment when you will again experience some other more pleasant, more positive emotions, and you have to remind yourself of that so you can be able to withstand this hard time. So please be aware of that, and don't forget to take care of yourself during your hard times. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time in the next video very soon.